We are hearing from members of the Internal Review Board less than 24 hours after they released the final report on their findings about the death of Detective Sean Suiter.
The board concluded that he committed suicide, but not everyone agrees with that conclusion.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgen is live where it all happened in West Baltimore. Mike.
Mary and Vic, there's a lot of skepticism among those who disagree with the suicide finding is Detective Suiter's widow and also former police commissioner Davis, and he was heavily criticized in this report. But the independent review board says they went where the facts led them, and the facts led them to suicide.
Unanimous agreement on all recommendations, all findings.
The 7-member independent panel, who spent months investigating the death of Baltimore Police Detective Sean Suiter, defended their finding that he killed himself.
When people are emotionally involved in an issue, whether they're community members or police officers or police leaders, it's very difficult to look at facts.
And while the interim commissioner said he accepts that, he said the case is still open.
Obviously, the police department is not going to determine the manner. That's going to be left to the medical examiner's office. I'll just leave it at that.
Grainy video from that day last November shows Suiter pacing, running into an abandoned lot in West Baltimore. Seconds later, gunfire. His partner ran out. The review board believes there was no time for a struggle with a suspect and that Suiter's audio transmissions shed little light on the case. Suiter's widow has publicly denounced the report's findings. Investigators say the motive was that Suiter was the subject of a federal investigation into the corrupt gun trace task force. He died the day before his grand jury testimony, although he'd been granted partial immunity.
He was the subject. He was not the target, but he wasn't a witness.
Mayor Pugh spoke on whether she will accept the suicide finding.
I said I read the report. I'm waiting to hear from the independent reviewers because, like everyone else, I want to completely understand everything that has been provided for us in that report.
The medical examiner's office did classify this as a homicide. That could change. They are not commenting on this right now, but there was a new forensic test done. There was a new witness interviewed, and the IRB says this report should be considered new evidence as they look at their findings. Live in West Baltimore, Mike Helgen, WJZ.